Good morning and War Eagle War Report family. It's your boy Mike G. I'm here live from SEC Media Days. Joining us is Roman Harper, current ESPN analyst and former four-year letterman at Alabama. Here at SEC Media Days to talk a little bit about what's going on with these coaches. Roman, how's it going?
It's going well. I'm from Prattville too, so I'm right down the road from Auburn. So shout out to all my homies over there that War Eagle and all that stuff all the time.
Well, it's nice to live so close to greatness, but we appreciate
That's an opinion. All good.
We appreciate you joining us. I want to talk a little bit about the honor that it is for these athletes to be invited to SEC Media Days by their coaches and to get to represent. As a former four-year letterman at the University of Alabama, you know what it's like to be a leader and to be chosen for this honor. What is it like and what does this mean for these players?
I think it's really cool. It's an opportunity a lot of times for the first time for the rest of the media, that people that cover the SEC get an opportunity to see what your personality's like, what's your swag like, how you handle yourself in this big room, and answering questions. Are you real uptight, or you actually just like loose, and people get to see who you are as a person, and when you have a good time with the media, they actually tend to root for you a little bit more. And so it's an opportunity. It's just as much as a job or a skill. But I think more often than not, this has to be an opportunity for these young men to take advantage of it and have a good time with it.
Well, Roman, speaking of opportunities, these young men now have an opportunity you never had when you were in college, which is name, image, and likeness, right? They have a chance to make some change while they're in college. In your opinion, how has NIL changed the landscape of college football?
Well, first and foremost, these guys are getting a lot more money. They're able to afford a different lifestyle and different things. I think the biggest pitfall is that they're so focused on money, they don't actually become better in their skill.
Right.
And so you can get paid in college and make a little bit of money, and you think it's money, but the real money is the one on Sundays.
Right.
And so the biggest thing is you have to continue to grow and evolve as a player, and the money will come. I hate that we're so focused on the money and the dollars coming straight out of high school that is why people are making the decision of where they're going versus where can I go and be the best player or the best person I can truly be as a whole. Because if I'm growing holistically, I'm going to naturally be a better person and also a better player, and that's going to allow me better opportunities down the road and not just this, I know $100,000 is a lot of money, but I'm telling you, after taxes, after your mom and them say what's up, you know what I mean? Like, it's just not as much left when it's all said and done. So you have to be smart about this and attack this as a holistically. How am I going to be the best version of myself after 4 years of college?
Have you had a chance to talk with Nick Saban a little bit about how they're educating players at Alabama on money management? I know part of the rookie symposium in the NFL is that they give you guys kind of like a download on watch out for this with your finances, make sure you have a trusted financial advisor. How is Alabama handling?
So I have not had that conversation individually with Nick. I'm sure this is a conversation that must be had because I've been around and guys are talking about, oh man, the taxes are coming up this year. So at least they have their arms are wrapped around something. But for me, I think when I look at NIL in the college space right now, it reminds me a lot of America and understanding where electric cars versus gas cars is coming right now. And I say that comparison because the infrastructure must be built out to be able to take it all on because it's coming and it ain't changing going backwards. And so when I'm driving my electric car, I feel good when I'm at the house and I get to plug it up. But what happens when I got to go a little bit further? Can I stop somewhere and get charged up? Like, the infrastructure has to be built right. And right now, all these universities need more professional people in place to help build out the infrastructure of what NIL is bringing to your campus. And the fact that we're going to do a lot of financial literacy. We want to make sure the people that you're hanging around are making sure these contracts are lawyered up the correct way.
Right.
And the verbiage is right. And do you truly understand what the paper that you're signing? And you're not signing away future rights of revenue and things of that nature. And so, and yes, a dollar, and also understanding that a dollar today is not a dollar tomorrow. So all these little things that kind of go with NIL, let's continue to build out the infrastructure and not just have people that have been in compliance. Now you're overlooking something else because, we ain't bringing in another salary person to do this. I think the infrastructure needs to be built out for all these schools because this is a new wave and it's not going away.
Listen, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you. Auburn has hired Hugh Freeze is the next head football coach.
Yes.
He is on a short list of coaches that owns 2 wins versus Nick Saban in back-to-back years.
Yes.
Beating Nick Saban is a tall task. He's got great players. He's got great assistant coaches. He himself is a good coach. What is your opinion of Auburn's hiring of Hugh Freeze and how he'll do in that job?
All right, so one of my good friends, his name's Knox, and he's a diehard Auburn fan. And literally the moment this job opened up, I'm like, look, just take Hugh Freeze. It's a layup.
Right.
Don't be over here crossing over, doing the step back, trying to hit Dion. I'm like, look, bro, just go take the layup. He's been in the SEC. He knows the recruiting battles. And it's a fit. I think the one thing that people overlook way too often in college is that it has to fit. Hugh Freeze is a great fit at Auburn. He checks a lot of the boxes that Auburn people love to check. And you got to understand, you have to be able to, finagle and understand the dynamic which is the power players at Auburn.
Right.
And I think he will do a great job of that, the way he's been able to recruit at a high level. And he's really been hands-off with a lot of things because he's hired so many great coaches on his staff that I'm focused on recruiting and trying to get the best players to have my coaches and put them in place to be successful. I think he's done a really good job of understanding that. And also, the second time around, you always appreciate it just a little bit differently.
Right.
And I think he's in a better place with himself, with his relationship with his wife, and also with the university now to be able to put themselves in a good position, a place to win. Auburn's a great university. It's a top 15 university in the country, and they can win and compete at a high level, but they've had some unfortunate situations and crazy hires, and they've been their own worst enemy with their own, we're going to self-sabotage last year, and it blew up in their face, and now this is where we're at. And, Auburn, it's going to be 2 years, and we're going to see about this whole quarterback battle that's going to get played out, but Auburn will be better because their coaches are in a better position, the players and the roster through the transfer portal, because you don't have to wait 4 years for a recruiting cycle. You can hit the portal and really upgrade your roster right now. They're doing a good job of that, and I trust what Auburn's doing, and they're always going to be tough. Anytime Alabama, the Iron Bowl is in Auburn, and nobody's counting on Auburn to be good, watch out.
Last question.
Yes.
As a former 4-year letterman, a great college football player, and an 11-year pro, what advice do you have to young athletes as they go on their college career and try to achieve that ultimate goal of playing in the NFL?
I would say put everything you have into it, understanding that you still need to have other avenues and not just be a one-trick pony. Because the moment you get hurt, which Andrew, you're 100% guaranteed to get hurt at some point in time. You just hope it's not too serious, and you have other things and have a rock to fall back on, and whether it's faith, family, whatever that may be. But I would also say the advice would be, man, you got to be like the crocodile, not like the dinosaur. You got to always continue to evolve. You can't be a repeat offender, because if you're a repeat offender, like, dude, I can't work with him. But he's continued to always evolve. Don't be a repeat offender. It's like, man, I can still work with that guy. He's still learning. He's still growing as a player, as a person, as a leader. Those are the things that really kind of separate you. And for me, finding those little creases that can separate you from the competition and be really, really good at that. So often in life, everybody tells you, man, you got to work on your weaknesses, da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, actually, what's your strength?
Right.
And be damn good at that. And then we continue to work on the weakness. But man, what's your superpower? I tell my daughter that all the time. She's a soccer player, a really good athlete. And I'm like, babe, what's your superpower? She's like, my speed. All right, you go be fast. That's what's going to separate you. Don't ever doubt that. We'll get the other stuff figured out. But man, your superpower is what makes you special. Don't run away from that. Be great at that. And then the rest of your game will work around. But if you don't know your superpower, then you might not, then you don't know yourself. So you got to know your strengths before you ever start worrying about where we're weak at and some other things.
Find your superpower and be damn good at that. Well, listen, we know you're a damn good analyst. We appreciate you giving us some of your time. Guys, we're live from SEC Media Days. I want to thank Roman Harper for joining us. We're signing off. Can I get a War Eagle?
No, you cannot. But I give you a 3-3-4. Shout out to Alabama. 3-3-4. That's Auburn anyways. I give you that.